goodness, that finished sharp. I wasn't expecting that. Good evening, everyone. How are we all? Look. Imperial Core Drums Liverpool, because tonight we are focusing on English bands. Nothing but English. It is our first, well, apart from the host bands at the beginning, it's our first night ever doing nothing but focusing on English bands. So it definitely was an eye-opener for me looking for clips. We did struggle a bit, I have to say. You guys over there on the main line aren't just as lucky as us in terms of videographers, but it's great. We got as many as we could. The one thing I was surprised about at how many inactive mainland bands there are. And I just want to give a big shout out to Carl Robinson for helping me with the list. Thank you so much, Carl. It was really, really, really useful. But definitely couldn't get over the number of English bands that were inactive. So let's get through a few of the comments. So Caroline Hughes is in, Gillian Douglas Ray, and Jensen, Linda Alexander, William Smith, Robert Muir, Jennifer Ferris, Ian Thompson. No, Ian, this is not from the Gordon Corbett collection. However, these are all English clips. Irene Sheen is in Airdrie. Gavin Hazlitt is watching. Gordon Cullen is in Balamina. Brian Turner is watching. I think you're Coleraine, aren't you, Brian? Remember seeing that before. Gillian Johnson is in Derby. Ronnie Hyman is in with us this evening. No Zoom calls this evening, Ronnie. It's not like you. Ian Smart says, good evening all from Sussex by the Sea. I'm not sure where that is. Deanna's Boston is in Ballyhabbert. I know where that is.
Sussex, down south of England.
Somewhere. Kyle Cowden's watching, as is Keith McInerney. Tommy Lloyd is in from Liverpool. I know he's looking forward to this. Jackie Mullins in, Karina and Ray McHugh. Annabelle Kinnear is in Windsor Park. Well, you're not in Windsor Park, but you're close to Windsor Park. Andrew McIlvenn is in. English Tonight, cannot wait, says Colin Johnson. Good. Hope it pleases. Billy Gilmore and Margaret are in from Port Glasgow. Reggie Cullen and Tilly are in. Where's Joy? Elise China can't complain. Still played in an English band night. That is correct, because our starting tune was East Belfast Protestant Boys. You are keeping them happy, Roy. You definitely are keeping them happy. Roy chose that one tonight. Jim Stout says hello from the D. Charlie's favourite place. Of course, Prince Charles was there visiting. Alex Williams is in. John Dowling, Elizabeth Graham, Gary Bryan, Amy and Denise watching with the house full. My goodness, are you having a party? Huh. Didn't take long. I thought the restrictions were only lifted from Monday, not from today. Gordon Hotchkiss is watching from a wet Manchester. Oh, goodness. Carl Robinson's in from Liverpool as well.
Valerie, more to the point, just having a party and we weren't invited.
Well, that is true. Amy, I thought I was your favourite. Let me see. Ian's looking forward to this. Kyle McElroy's in. Carl Robinson is in. Volstagg Thompson says, I suit your t-shirt. You're right, I do. Absolutely brilliant. Right Afoot, of course, our mental health charity, and then the NHS, and then, of course, Liverpool Core Drums. I love it. Multitasking, says Eddie. Can you multitask, Eddie? Your meal? Are you sure you can multitask? Listening, watching One Field, One the Irish Club, and working flat out. Alan Finley says, good evening, everyone. COVID positive here. At last, something to make me smile. How are you feeling, Alan? Are you having any symptoms? Jennifer McAllister is on. William Riddles and Thornley Bank. Gordon Carey's and Crummock. Leslie Ann Harvey's watching. Kenny Dummigan's from Larne, the home of Dummigan's Accordion. Randy Patton wants to know where I got my t-shirt. I got it very kindly sent to me by the gentleman in Imperial Corps of Drums because they used the Lightfoot logo. Greg Logan is in Loyalist Manchester. If you're watching from England, from mainland particularly tonight, give us a wee text, especially if you've never texted us before. We're delighted to have you. We love the fact that your bands are supporting us and with us and involved in the Orange Order in the same way we do. Now, before we get stuck into the English bands, that sounds bad. We need to do our host bands here, and there are two this evening. So the first one this evening, who should have been having the parade, are Sons of Ulster from up in Claudy, and this is them performing at East Bank Protestant Boys Parade in 2018. So I just put it on my phone there so I can see some more comments. Ken Wood said that he's really, really nervous about this tonight, seeing Skinny Me. Ken, I know exactly what you mean. I put on a new post from myself parading many, many, many years ago, 1992 or 93, I think it was. And let's just say the skirt that I was wearing then, I don't think it would be one of my thighs would get into it now. Ian Smart says you're right. Any further south and you're on France, Roy. So that must be nice and sunny there. That must be nice and warm. Myra Armstrong is looking forward to this. Penny Johnson wants to know, can I give a shout out to Alison McAleese? Hiya, Alison. Hope you are keeping well. Stuart Chestnut is in Antrim. Gordon Corbett is watching in Thornton near Crosby, Liverpool. So now that we're freeing ourselves up from Friday and Saturday nights and then, you know, watching parades and that kind of stuff, I'm hoping to get a few more of Gordon's videos uploaded and sharing them with you all. Trevor Murphy's in South Down. Edward Fellows is watching. Don Monroe is in Ballyclare. Thomas and Dawn are both listening. Evening. Jim Wilson is in Lurgan. John's Jenny says, good evening from Ruby Tuesday. No hot tub tonight, JD. No hot tub. Stephen Martin says, can't wait for parades. Yay. Di McFall Reid is in Australia. Lovely to have you with us, Di. Hopefully you're watching it. Leslie Kirk is watching from Liverpool. It'll be good to watch. Danny Harper is on Stoke-on-Trent. Lovely to have you. You stay off the drink tonight, girl. I am a non-alcoholic fat frogs. John
you were
Kelly
worse
is
last week in non-alcoholic fat frogs. I think you should go back on the drink.
Do you think so? That is true. That is true. You always say that. You've always said that. I speak better with alcohol. I'm not nervous then. I'm more relaxed. That's what it is. Ryan McGuinness is in. Chris Connors is rolling next Friday to March Korean. Yes, yay. Geraldine Stewart's in. Jimmy Graham in Port of Voggie is in. Muriel is in. Evelyn McCooper is in. Harry MacArthur in Glasgow. Ivor Farger from New York on Trent. Apologies, I've mangled your name. Farger. Okay. John Geddes and Wendy are in Manchester. John Gunning is in Liverpool. Jill Heldon is in Really, Lancashire. Sprigg says roll on Ballysullen tomorrow. Yes, thinking of taking a scoot up, I have to say. We'd all start the show. Yes, they were first on. The colour party, of course, of Burntullet. Gary Warrington is with us. Wish Ian McMaster from Kelly Les Accordion Band and Garth Campbell from Auckland Accordion Band a very happy birthday. I'll make a wee note of those, Jennifer, and I will indeed have them serenaded by our Muskehounds later on. Only appearance, well, I was going to say the only appearance, but we did have them on first, didn't we? But at least for the other two, it'll be the only appearance tonight. Mark Anderson says he wonders, is there many English bands with wee dolls at the front? Wait till you find out. Eddie wants to know, is there a clip of London Halbert Loyalists tonight? Nope, definitely not. So our other band who would have been having, well, one of two more bands actually. I got it wrong. There was three tonight. Two more. But the second one is Corbett Accordion, who would be having their parade tonight in Banbridge. They are here playing at their own parade in 2019, the last year that they had it. superb there from Corbett. Really, really strong playing accordion band. So they are, and going very well there indeed. I love that we do it on the cymbals. Absolutely love it. Tad Adamson, yeah, so there's a few people asking about the payments, etc. There may be, Roy may have sent your payment back to you purely because when you've chosen, it defaults to purchases, which means that whenever Roy gets it through, he's then charged for it. So some, like it can be up to as much as like £3 and £4 per one payment, So if Roy has sent it back to you, then that is why. So make sure when you're putting it in the next time to put it as a payment to friends and family. You actually have to manually change it because it defaults, unfortunately. John says, great start there with Burntollet. Debbie McMullen's in. Burntollet says, my mum, were one of the first civil rights parades led to a riot. It was indeed. I'd be surprised if you weren't there, Muriel. Very surprised. Gordon from Lisbon is in. Good to have you. Ian Campbell's watching. Glenn Miller says the skirt on perm you were sporting was full on. Oh, and that was it down, Glenn. That was it in a plait. Like, you ought to see it. You ought to see it in reality. It was, one of those kind of things. Ian Duff says, thanks for the video from Loyalist Scotland. Councillor Alan Lewis has just set up Isles bands. He's not sure if the hot tub's on, but he's going to run a bath if it's not. Ian Pollock is in from Clydebank. Edward McMullen from Portrush. Joe Stevens is here. Woohoo! Good to have you in, Joe. Gary Warrington is watching for Liverpool. Stuart McGrogan in Antrim. Robert Keane in Overtown. Thomas Michaels in. Robert Harkness in Cookness. Donna Pyre is from Glossop near Manchester. Lovely to have you all in with this this evening. Sheila Gallagher is on. Kathy McKittrick in Londonderry. Kenny McKnight in Glasgow. Let me see. Ian Pollock is in as well. Good evening from Clydebank. Jim McElrath is in Dundrum. Keith Ellenson from Liverpool. Billy Worthington is in Liverpool as well. Paul William loves my t-shirt. Isn't it class? Absolutely superb. Maybe could have done with an iron right enough, but it is absolutely superb. Jonathan Courtney.
While mine's not on.
Body heat will take the wrinkles out. It'll be fine. My mummy doesn't do my ironing anymore, so therefore ironing doesn't really get done. Jonathan Courtney and Julie and Ross are all watching in West Lothian. So let's go to our final band here this evening from Northern Ireland. And it is Balamina Protestant Boys. They were due to have a parade in
Balamina North Balamina Protestant Boys. Okay,
them. They were due to have a parade in Balamina this evening, but difficulties with the PSNI and a very heavy-handed approach, unfortunately, stopped that. I'm hoping that from Monday, when restrictions are easing, that will stop as well. This is them earlier this evening having a static practice down the centre of Balamina town. So Roy's better half, Michelle, took that footage for us down at the town this evening. Thank you so much, Michelle. She was very judicious about the footage because, you know, we just to be on the safe side, she didn't want to get anybody into trouble. And quite right, you
And
were
that's
too.
also why it's at such a low angle.
Because it was Michelle. Michelle is the height of nothing.
She's 4'6", and then take the camera down, so she was probably holding it about 3 foot high.
And what height are you, Roy?
6'3".
They are the original odd couple, I think, in terms of height. Anyway, okay, so let's see. Lindy wants to know, is there any parades in Belfast next weekend? There is definitely a parade in Coleraine next Friday night, which gives me a problem, actually, because it'll be out, you know, it's outside my house. So we'll see what we can do. We'll see what we can do. Right. If you haven't already paid for your t-shirt or anything like that there, the order is definitely going in this week because we've kind of held up enough. We have something like 70 t-shirts to get done. Roy is in charge of the posting, so you will get them this year. We're not sure how long it'll take once we've got the order placed, but we want to make sure that, you know, because they'll not take them unless we pay for them. So I'm not paying out of pocket. I don't have the money. I don't have the money to pay for you all. Eddie says, make sure Val's not in charge of posting. He'd like his t-shirt this year. Oh, very funny, very funny. Andy Skegness is watching. So if you are watching tonight from the mainland, make sure you let us know. It is lovely to have you with us. We are so pleased to have you here because tonight is our first night of nothing but English bands, which I have to say I was really, 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 a lot of them were new to me. I didn't realize that there were so many English concertina bands, which was a pleasant shock, I have to say. So if you don't like the squeeze boxes, tough.
I've just seen a message there from my friend Davy McCallion.
Yes.
Folks, if anybody does have a spare pennies or like that and would like to give to a great cause, War Years Remembered is struggling greatly because of the COVID lockdown and everything else. They haven't been able to get people to their museum in Ballyclare. They have a Just Giving page set up, which I'll have to get Davy, if you put the link in, he's put it in, Davy's put the link in. Just Giving page for War Years Remembered. If you can give to it, please do so. It's the largest authentic World War I and World War II museum around, and needs the support to place it. And if you haven't visited, once lockdown's over and it gets open again, make sure you get your asses over to Ballyclare and go and see it and have a chat with Davy.
It is absolutely, it's a fantastic place to visit. I've been before. It's probably been too long since I was last there, so I definitely need to go again. I'm trying to get into this email from.
You also get to see the World War I trenches, which I helped build and paint the. So that's, if you see bad bits, it's not painted properly, you can just probably blame me.
No, who do you blame? You know who do you blame?
Me. But Davy has put his heart, soul, blood and tears into that museum, and it definitely needs all the support it can get. Yeah,
it's an absolutely fantastic resource. So what is it they say? Use it or lose it. Isn't that what they say? Now, Carl Robinson very, very kindly sent me over a listing of all the English bands, and what he did was he sorry, there's my Outlook open. He divided it into bands who he believes are currently active and into bands who are no longer active. And I literally couldn't believe it. There were 81 bands who are no longer active, 81 English bands, which is so sad. You know, like the Workington True Blues, West Derby, Tyneside Truth Defenders, the Sons of Enniskillen and Sons of Seaforth, St Mary's Birkenhead, the Dingle Band, Linacre Temperance Drum and Fife, Lancasterian Rose, Kirkdale Glory, Kirby Pioneers. It's such a pity that all of those bands have fallen to the wayside. A lot of bands there from Corby as well. Corby Purple Star, Corby Rangers, Corby Truth Defenders. Then there's the Britannia, Border Union Defenders, Bittle Village Pipe Band, so Blackpool True Blues. And it's such, Beaconsfield Flute Band. It is such a pity that so many of those have gone to the wall. So all credit. He's listed roughly about 24 that we know are still active, which is absolutely great to see. And we're delighted to be able to picture most of them in the clips tonight. There was a couple of the corps of drums that we couldn't find clips of, but we think we got most of the rest of them. Some of them maybe just mobile footage, but we were just glad to have the footage at all. Now, let's go to our first one of these. So, parading, this is Leeds Crown Defenders. They are actually in this clip taking part in their first parade in Belfast. And this is them actually at Camp Twaddell in 2015. Excellent. Now, remember, guys, when you're watching these bands, they are maybe not to the standards that you would expect from, but I mean, some of them are fantastic bands. I have to say that. You know, I'm making that clear now. But just remember exactly what they're doing and exactly where they're doing it as well, and how difficult it is for them to keep going. And I think what we have to do is for tonight, forget your, you know, that's a hatchet, not a crotchet type comments, and remember why they are there, and that they are there supporting the Orange Order in England, and they're there supporting us as well. And many of these bands come over here to Northern Ireland. So I think we need to appreciate the reason behind them as much as the musicality. Having said that, as Leeds Crown Defenders there are proven, they are every bit as good as a lot of the bands here in Northern Ireland as well. So there's no shame from that point of view. I want to get through a few of the comments because there's 270 comments that I haven't read, and I am going to lose them. So let's see. Next weekend, Ballinafy Prentice Boys will be walking the Normal Road at 10:45. That's next Saturday. Colin says it's time for a beer. Already, Colin. Andy Burrows is watching. This dash cam footage is great. Auntie Val, forgot to tell you, tonight should be Andrew Murphy Memorial Parade in Carluke. I'm surprised Lisa missed that one. Lisa is usually bang on the money. Mini parade watched in Balamina, says Donna. Good. Lorraine Hunto is in Glasgow. Alan Keith, any videos of the Portsmouth band? They may be on the list. I can't remember, to be quite honest. Aaron Wilson is a member of the Johnson's True Blues, watching from the Derry Club in Liverpool. Brilliant. Hopefully on the big screen so everyone can see all of your bands. Robert Hill is in Oxford. A lot of you are saying about going live next week from the front garden. We'll see what we could do. Carl Sullivan is in Liverpool. John Dowling says live from Coleraine next week. Well, we'll try something. Put it like that. We'll try something.
Live from Coleraine every week.
Mm-hmm.
You're live from Coleraine every week.
Well, yeah, that is true. That is true. Derek Williams says was year's best place to visit. Unreal. Not sure. Mark Anderson says as long as Imperial core drums are on, nothing else matters. Well, if nothing else, their t-shirts on. Please do pray to the band of Coleraine next week. We'll see. We'll try something. Most bands in Liverpool were concertina bands due to the links with the sea and Navy. Carl, I was wondering why that was. Absolutely brilliant. Ivan Webb says your dad's watching, Tim. Oh, Warriors. Oh, right. Okay. That was Derek's text. Warriors, best place to visit. Unreal. Definitely. I can only second that. It is an absolutely brilliant place to visit. And always get new stuff in. So even if you were last year or the year before, still good to play it again. Ted Garland used to play in a great Liverpool concertina band, Derry's Walls, great sounds. Loyalist Radio says, evening team. Evening. Valerie and I set up a meeting there for ones on here that would raise some money. I thought Roy meant he painted the original trenches. Brian says, well, he is old enough.
I'm not old. I'm not as old as Valerie. Because you have to remember, Valerie was the one that led King William's horse and tied it at the tree at the Boyne.
Tad says, add a further 19 to that Valerie put off the road to make it a round number of 100. Ian Campbell says that Corby Loyalists is the only English band that he knows of. Darren Fletcher paraded in London with Pride of the Main. They loved us over there. People should, we've featured those clips before, Darren. They are fantastic. Ian Thompson used to be in Garston True Blues, the Protestant Reformers. John Peel says in 69-70 there were at least 54 bands in Liverpool alone. Could absolutely believe that. Brian Goody says, we met Leeds Protestant Boys in Glasgow for a few years. Are they still good? They were very good. That was them at 2015 you just saw. Any videos with the Young Corsons Volunteers Liverpool? I'm just going through here trying to get as many. There's 19 bands registered with the Grand Lodge of England. Thank you, Edward, for letting us know that there. William Fenton is watching. Hi, is Alexander from Bizet from Blackpool. Can you do P.O. Pride of the Motherwell flute band? Tonight we are doing nothing but English bands. Tim Webb has a wee message for us there. Can I just say a massive thank you to Ulster Bands Forum and Pictures and Parade and so many others for highlighting my Wheelchair Loyal and Wheelchair Reds badges over recent times throughout very uncertain days and months. Also, a massive thank you to all who have supported me on my badge journey in raising funds for the Rangers Cancer Foundation. This afternoon, I sold my remaining badges, 1,600 in total. Over the next while, I will gather all the funds and see what the final total is and hand it over to the Rangers Charity Foundation. Absolutely fantastic. Brilliant amount there. Ian Kennedy says, sorry?
I have a wee message to read out.
Okay. Ian Kennedy says, you're starting to do bands from outside Northern Ireland. What about playing the Indian Rubber Band? Oh my goodness. Watching for Liverpool in the Shire Inn, as two of my bands are hopefully in show tonight. I hope they are, Lee. I hope they are. Valerie Lone King Belly, that perm wig you wore. Glenn Miller, you are definitely in the black book. Let's see. Happy birthday to my brother Neil in Australia. Let me just get that one down. And that is from Stevie, so I'll get that in. Valerie, could you mention the passing of David Gorley from Antrim? He's a well-known First World War historian who done talks and exhibition around schools and societies. A gentleman very sadly missed. I saw that. That was very sad. World of knowledge. Absolute world of knowledge. Let's see. Happy birthday to Cordelia McCarriger if she's watching. Let me write that one down as well. I'm scribbling these down as quickly as I can, and then I'll not be able to read my own writing later on. Mark Anderson says, what about some videos of Pride of the Main in London still counts? Indeed, it does not. Played in the Earl of Beaconsfield, Liverpool, said Ron Lewis. Well, you are absolutely in for a treat. Tonight is nothing but English bands. End of story, okay? Apart from our hosts there at the beginning. So next up in our list, again, a lot of these were new to me. This next band, I'd never seen Leeds Crown Defenders. I have to say, they were new to me. However, this next band I have seen before, and we have had on the show before as well. This is the Blues and Royals flute band of Liverpool, and this is them playing at the Upper Falls Protestant Boys Parade in 2017. We're tending to find that a lot of the clips that we can get of the bands are when they have been over here in Northern Ireland. So we need a videographer in England, okay? Tick it up, someone. Absolutely brilliant there from Blues and Royals. I'm trying to remember if I've actually seen them live as opposed to just clips. I don't think I've managed to see them live.
I have.
Have you?
Yeah.
You seen them live? Yeah.
I've seen them
No,
live.
I've never seen them live, but I've definitely seen clips of them before because we've had them on the show before. Now,
Just while my mic's on, I've a wee message to read out.
Okay.
It's from Carol Porter of the Letter.
It's a letter beat.
Basically, because no more letters, don't worry. So a member of the Parkinson band was knocked down on the 12th parade in Belfast in 2017. She is called Edith Algie. She was admitted to hospital on Wednesday for her leg amputation operation, which she has successfully come through, and just want to wish her well from all the band fraternity and all her friends.
Oh, absolutely. Edith watches and she has commented and all that there. And I knew that she was having difficulties. Edith, our thoughts are with you. Hope your recovery is speedy and that everything goes as well as possible with your amputation. I know that it's breaking your heart, but I was thinking you're bound to be able to get someone to push you in a chair. There is not a thing wrong with you still continuing in the Parkinson band.
Valerie's volunteering for that. But you said you wanted to get back into bands. You didn't know how fit you were. But there you go. But there you go. What a better way. If she was in the accordion band, you can push her around. No problem at all. There you go.
It's a wee bit far. It's a wee bit far. Wallace wants to know, can we give a shout out to the LOL 848 Sussex Crown Defenders, please? I can indeed. Welcome to you all. Please, if you're watching from the mainland, give us a shout out tonight. Put a comment and tell us where you're from. We are loving having you on here this evening. Andrew Eli hopes to see a clip of his band Heroes of the Somme on tonight. Can we do Liverpool Flute Band, please, says Alex Visit. Ian Dust's Imperial Liverpool Flute Band are class. They are indeed. Volstagg is watching from Belleville on the Brook. Bring on the Imperial. Cracking tune, Gypsy Girl, says Danny Morgan. Mandy Boyd says, I need to video the next parade I go to in Liverpool then. 25th of June it is, I believe. Absolutely, Mandy. And you see, when you're videoing, don't do what I do. I hold my camera or my phone like that there. Do it that way. And then that stops Roy from complaining because we'll be featuring clips. So, although next weekend is our last weekend of virtual band parades on a Friday, Saturday night, it is not goodbye. It is only we're moving to Thursday night because once we're going to take a couple of weeks off and then later in June we are going to come back with our throwback. So many of you, particularly you guys in Scotland and England who don't have as many parades as we would have over here in Northern Ireland, said that you would miss it and how much you would miss it. So what we're going to do is a throwback Thursday show where on the Thursday evening we look back at the parades that happened the previous weekend. We feature clips from the bands who took part. We're hoping that Neil will maybe do some of his 5 questions interviews with the host bands. Then we will also be looking at the weekend to come because Lisa is going to do a little feature telling us all where the parades are, times that they start, all that kind of stuff. So if you have any questions. So that's going to be probably from about mid-June. We're going to take a couple of weeks off. I think we deserve it. Like, don't you? You allow us a couple of weeks off? Be very kind if you would. But we wanted to keep going because you guys seem to enjoy it. But Friday and Saturday nights, we will hopefully be starting to get to see more parades. And then, of course, we'll all be going live. Myself on Ulster Bands Forum, Roy on Pictures on Parade, and Lisa on Loyal Ulster Scottish Bands. All of us will be going live from various parades and taking videos and pictures and all that kind of stuff. So we'll try and keep these all updated as much as we can.
And hopefully sharing them across all the 3 platforms as well. So no matter who's gone live, it's like if Valerie does go to Ballysalon tomorrow, we'll probably be at 2 different spots at the parade, so we'll both be going live, so you can actually watch the parade, and then depending how long it is, might be able to, if Valerie's first, to see hers, then you can go watch mine, and it'll give you more bands to watch.
I was muted, sorry. If Roy was in Balamina and I was in Coleraine, it means that we're in 2 different places, could potentially cover 2 different parades. So you could be in 2 places at once. So that's what we're going to try and do and go forward. And Mandy, if you get that parade videoed in Liverpool, we'll be only too delighted to include it. So if you're out in there anywhere and you do take clips of a band and you want us to show them, make sure they're full tunes for start, okay? Just make sure they're full tunes because we love seeing full tunes. And send us the link to them, PM it or put it on the page. 15th anniversary for the Blues and Royals, says Glenn. It is indeed. John Hewitt was in Staff Talks with Minnie years ago. Colin says in Liverpool province, you have to be in the Orange Order to be in a band. Is that right? Seriously? Didn't know that. Didn't know that at all. Loads of comments. You don't have to be in the Orange Order, but still plenty of bands. Philip McConnell is watching for Witness. Liam Tooney says, I'm a member of Johnson's True Blues. Are we the oldest band on show tonight? I don't know. William McElhatton's late. Heroes of the Song Flute Band, Heroes of the Song we are. Hi from Bonnie Bridge. Eve Ed Ning. China, are you in the drink? My goodness. My goodness. Paul Gretton is from the Wirral, ex-member of the Britannia Flute Band. Get the Liverpool East Belfast Protestant boys in. No. Rod Gates is watching in a windy West Sussex. I'll get through some more of your comments after the next band. Again, totally English bands tonight. This is the British Ulster Alliance Flute Band, and it's a really, really great clip because this is actually them. Let me just get the full text here. And they are walking at the Lord Carson Parade, and they are down the Thames. So as they're parading along, you can actually see the Thames on the other side of the camera. Right, what year is that? Because I can't see the full. 2014. It's in 2014, September 2014. A parade that I've never been to, but it's definitely on my bucket list. I have got such a long bucket list now after this lockdown. So British Ulster Alliance here. Again, another band that I've never seen. It's great. This is a whole discovery exercise for me. Excellent. Glenn tells us that they are from all over England. So that is definitely serious dedication on there, to all get together. Jensen wants to parade London, and quite rightly so, Gillian. Lisa has only ever seen this band, and this was her first ever parade in 2006 for the Thomas MacDonald Memorial Parade in White City. And when you think about it, it must be quite difficult for the English bands, because here in Northern Ireland, when you see other bands out and about, you're taking ideas from them, you're hearing tunes that they're playing that you think would be good, you're seeing different styles of uniforms, where it must be, and it's encouraging you, and it's keeping the scene active and moving and stimulating ideas, whereas over in England, it can't be just as easy to do that, because A, they're so geographically apart, and B, they wouldn't have as many parades as we would do over here in Northern Ireland. So it's, absolutely brilliant for keeping going. Joy says she'll do us a live feed from Kilkeel next Saturday night. The Rising Sons of the Valley Parade Kilkeel. Sounds like a plan. Joy, absolutely sounds like a plan. Jim says our Wheel Millisle and District Psalm Society is having a parade on Saturday, the 24th of July. I take it that's in Millisle? Jim, tell us where it is. Time. Details. Ian says that the rule about being in Orange Order, yeah, it's only Liverpool because he's in Bootle and the rule is different. I have to admit, I always thought Bootle was Liverpool. Is it not?
Oh, definitely not. Definitely not. I lived right on the edge of Liverpool, and then Bootle was just next door to it. But no, you can't say.
You did say that Bootle is in Liverpool. Okay,
Yeah, you could get a slap for that.
Well, Paul Bochy, I'm not sure how you say your surname, Paul, is watching in Bootle from the Highfield Loyalists, so he'll definitely not like me saying that then. Just taking a wee look here. Charlotte Quigg says, fingers crossed the vets are on tonight. Blakely says, it's great to watch the bands play and wish the bands in Scotland would start. I'll not read out the next part of your comment, but I totally agree. Sturgeon is, yes. Shout out to Stirling Protestant Boys, Forth Valley's finest. I'm sure they are, but tonight it's all English. We've had a couple of all Scottish nights, and I don't know why we didn't do this before. So thank you to whoever suggested it. It was a great idea. And thank you to Carla Robinson for helping compile our list. Much appreciated. Now, again, the next band I had never heard of. I didn't know there were so many concertina bands in Liverpool and that area. This is Colonel Saunderson'S. Now, whenever I was looking for this, I initially was looking for a flute band, and I did find a couple of clips of a flute band. Then I found some pipe band clips, and I also found this concertina band. But eventually I found out that the one we're referring to is the concertina band. This is the band.
Then she found an advert for KFC too.
I didn't know. That would have made me hungry. KFC, finger looking good. This is the band in 2008. I cannot wait. The next time, I can't remember which one of the bands it is. Maybe it was Star Talks. They offered to let me to try the concertina. I really can't actually wait to try one. I will be hopeless at it, but at least I can say I tried. This is Colonel Saunderson'S. just watching some of the players in the band there, and it obviously is quite hard for the players of the concertinas to hear themselves as well, because you can see a couple of girls standing there at the back against the stage actually having to hold it up to their ears to hear. I wonder would low tension drums make any difference there, because the concertinas are quite high, whereas the tone of the low tension drums would be lower. Might be, I don't know. Yeah, no, definitely a very interesting instrument. Absolutely interesting instrument. William Brown is watching from Loyalist Pennycook. Good to have you in. Craig Curry says his Wi-Fi is playing up here, so that's why he is late. Craig, put 50p in the mirror. Go on, son. Splash out. Splash out. Ian Thompson says Colin Bootle, part of Liverpool, is a fighting talk. I do apologise. That's like someone saying to us that Coleraine is in Ireland. I get it. I do get it. Wallace McLaughlin says he would like to see more bands play in the capital from all over Britain. I have to say I would love to take part in a parade in London. I know lots of bands from here who have done, and it looks to be a fantastic experience. There's been quite a lot of bands actually recently taking part in the Lord Mayor's parade in London, which is fantastic, because in terms of standards, they're absolutely up there with the army bands as well. Lee Doherty is watching from Hill House, Hamilton. China is saying, how is Proud of the Band having 50 bands, yet Star of the Row 4 bands a week later? Well, what you have to remember, China, is that Star of the Row was last week and was themselves, and the restrictions are easing. So you're now allowed 500 people at an outdoor gathering. But there is confusion. There is confusion. Now, I do know that Pride of the Band had a conversation with the police, and they did say that there wasn't any issue as long as everybody maintains social distancing. So hopefully this is us back on the route, excuse me, to normality, because it will be great to get back to parades. Can't wait. Now, a couple of you have been asking for this next band. As I say, unfortunately, there are a lot of accordion bands in this. It is not my doing. It is absolutely
Valerie knew there was loads of accordions in England before she picked an English night. That's why she wanted it. Wanted it.
I really didn't know there were so many. This is the Arthur Rath Memorial Band, who were reformed as the Vets. I'm not too sure where this clip is from, but I know that you'll enjoy it. reading some of the comments there about Colonel Sanderson. Philip says, that wee woman with the glasses is going to pull her concertina apart if she's not careful. That's Philip. Jimmy Graham says they're like China, squeezing every penny out of the accordions. Glenn Miller says, a very true comment. Fair play to them. Loyalists come in all forms. Absolutely. And listen, concertinas might not be everybody's choice. Alan Finlay, I know he's saying, oh my goodness, mini accordions kill me now. But the thing about it is, remember what they're there for. Remember what they are there for. Jensen's comment is mini diddy nippers. Jensen, I'm not even sure you should be using the term diddy nippers. I suppose in this show it's become common parlance. It's become part of your vocabulary. And as your mum said, it's now in her predictive text.
I'm a bit disappointed though. There was not a single White Sock comment for that picture.
Yes, the White Sox, especially for Glenn, and he didn't even say. Stu says he doesn't know about a bucket list. His is more like a skip. I totally get you at Stu, because mine gets bigger every time I see something. I think, oh, definitely have to do that one. Carol says she's loving all these Liverpool bands. Happy memories of 3 years spent there and watching bands parade on a Sunday to the church on the Netherfield Road. Brilliant.
But Glenn must have been so absorbed with the music playing of the accordions that he didn't actually see the
I did see a White Sox comment from Glenn. Glenn Miller says White Sox. You'll never fail. Never fail. You'll never slip one past him. Andrew Irvine says, think there's been chat of Grand Orange Lodge of England having a big parade in 2022, like the 2012 parade. Ian might be able to confirm, but Ian is saying that he hasn't heard anything yet. You can keep us all updated, which would be great. Let us all know. Flo Higgs says, brilliant, it's Liverpool. Colonel Saunderson was from Portadown. Philip Mackay thinks there's some kind of memorial of some kind to him up beside the war memorial in the town. Not sure. Stephen Felix says, the mighty Linfield are coming to Coleraine on Tuesday night. Be prepared. My bins will be hidden. Well hidden.
I can tell you where she keeps them.
No. Platinum Jubilee of Her Majesty, keep your eyes peeled. I hope so. That was a fantastic week. It was really, really nice to hear the Arthur Rath, because you don't get the full benefit of the tune from the concertinas, particularly when they're out on parade, because obviously the wind and all that kind of stuff. And it's nice to be able to hear them nice and clearly in that last clip. Great playing wee band, great beat to them, would be good to march to, says Stephen. Absolutely. Tommy Lloyd says the Rath Vets, tremendous band. They've been going for many, many years in different form, formed by the great Archie Rath. Robert Harkness says, I'm actually starting to like accordion bands. Another convert, Robert. This is amazing. That's 2 converted. Absolutely love it. Johnny Bean, aka Johnny the Walker, taught Jensen about Diddy Nippers 2 years ago. I'm going to have a word with Johnny about corrupting the youth. My goodness. That clip from the Rath was 40 years ago and recorded on the 28th of March 1981. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. And Paul Long wants to shout out to the Carsons in Liverpool. Welcome to you all. I hope you're all watching. Now, here is one that I definitely have seen before. This is Highfield Loyalist from Bootle. Separate from Liverpool, but from Bootle. And this is them at the Brian Robinson Parade in 2019. Absolutely super there from Highfield Loyalists. Definitely have seen them over at the Brian Robinson Parade, and to be honest, other than the fact that you were reading their big drum, they are just every bit as good as Northern Ireland bands. All credit to them.
And
to be honest,
money's through. Thank you.
Right, okay. Tommy Lloyd's is another great flute band from Brittle. Brittle is part of Liverpool, has an L postcode, just separate province for the Orange Order, not sure why. Ian Thompson, this is really, really good flute band from Brittle near Liverpool. I might start a row here. This is good. I now know how to start a row with Liverpudlians. Is Coleraine a small part of Balamina? It's in the rougher end of town, says Alan Finlay. Oh my goodness, my goodness, my goodness. These are terrible, terrible. Wallace's would be nice to see a lot of bands of brethren from all over British Isles to attend the walk in Brixham on the south coast. That one is on my bucket list. Everyone should add that to their bucket list. It would be great to see that as a huge, huge, huge parade. Hope there's no pipes, says Tad, as Amanda will have to go for a comfy break in the dark because he still hasn't got the light switched fixed. Still, Tad? That's ridiculous. That's a week. That woman's been having to go to the toilet in the dark. Oh, my goodness. My goodness. Let's see. Hi, Miriam, and also hi to Irene Thierry. Leighton Pattison is watching from Liverpool, and Mandy says her partner says Brittle is near Liverpool. Apparently, so it's not part of Liverpool. It's completely separate, but it is close to Liverpool. So, where are we going to go next? We are going to go to one of the bands on the list from Carl was Brittle and District Concertina Band. We couldn't find a good clip of their own, but what we did find was a clip from Loyalist Liverpool in 2017. This is the 12th of July, and it is mainly Brittle bands. There's a few in it. I haven't got them all listed down, but definitely you've got Brittle District Concertina, and you also have got Pride of the North. I'm having to check my list here. Pride of the North in it as well. So hope you enjoy this. And it's lovely to see a 12th parade and how it's done in Liverpool. So enjoy this wee clip. I have to admit, when I watched that clip earlier on, I didn't really notice the vocals. Or
With the
I may not
pistol
have
or a
chosen
with
it.
a pistol or a pistol.
With a pistol and a pistol. But isn't that the crowds down the street are fantastic? It's really, really nice to see. Now, that was way back in 2007. What is it like now? Is it the same kinds of crowds? Is it bigger crowds, lesser crowds? Is it is it, you know, are there they still, I love the way the kids and all were dressed up and everything. It gave a real festival atmosphere.
I was at that parade.
Were you at that parade in 2007?
Yeah, I lived in Liverpool then.
Huh. Is your mic on?
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I didn't. I lived in Liverpool for 4 years before that. So I was living over in Thurston, North Yorkshire. But I went back for it because of the 4 years I was there. I got to see it, see the parades and everything else. And the pub that I had in Liverpool, there used to be bands go up and down past it as well, which was funny. But because one of them used to be an accordion band as well, that I didn't go out to see.
Councillor Alan Lewis says, Valerie, do not swear you're live on Facebook. I don't think I swore, did I? Did I? Oh, I don't think so. Jerry Gardner says, just to let us know that Edinburgh Middle Tattoo is cancelled for a second year. Oh, that's something I've never been to do. That's on the bucket list as well. To. That's something I've never been to. That's a 2-0 and a T-O-O. It's just as good as Southport on the 12th. It's a tremendous experience, says Tommy. Jackie says Southport is brilliant. Ian says that the crowd depends on the day, as in terms of weathers or weekdays tend to be smaller than weekends as a case of getting time off work. Oh, brilliant. Brilliant. That's good to know. Really, really, really good to know. I can't ever be there for a Liverpool 12th because obviously I'll be with my own lodge, but it's really, really nice to see. And the concertina band with the xylophones really, really helped and brought out the melody in them. Absolutely fantastic. Anne Louise Laughlin says the crowds in Southport are amazing. Used to walk there a few years back with the band. It's the best atmosphere she's ever walked in. Oh, brilliant. Sounds really good. It really looks like a fun day out with adult singing. What more can you want? Now, next up is Everton Road Protestant Boys, another one that I definitely have seen. This is them in Belfast at the Volunteer Brian Robinson Memorial Parade in 2015. Another very, very good band. Superb there. Absolutely superb. Playing extremely well. Ian says you can do it once every 7 years when the 12th falls on a Sunday, Liverpool parade on the Saturday, and here in Northern Ireland we take the Monday. He says it makes for one great weekend. Parading for one day kills me, Ian. My poor old bones, I'm telling you. That's when you feel the age.
Fly over to the John Lennon Airport, go on the Saturday morning, go watch the parade, fly back on the Saturday night or Sunday morning.
Yeah, that's true. It's true.
Virtual band parade day out to Liverpool.
I'm leaving you to organise that one for the t-shirts with my head turned. Anne Louise says, if you can't go for the 12th of Apprentice Boys Parade in June, that's what we used to go to and we loved it. Ooh, good. And I'm guessing from Annabelle's comments that Larne have scored. Just, the abuse that she's given them here on the chat. Now, next up, I know that this will please quite a few of you because I know that there are some members of this band watching because they've commented earlier. This is Heroes of the Somme Flute Band. And this is them over in Belfast as well, because when they're over in Belfast, we're getting really good clips. This is them playing at the Bramall Loyal Parade in 2019. Absolutely. Love the uniforms.
It is.
And the drums work really, really well.
Lovely
Those lower
uniforms. I
tension
had the
drums.
pleasure of getting them set up for a band photo. They were dedicating a new mural that night as well, and I had the pleasure of getting them set up for a band photo. So they were all lovely lads and lasses. It was all there with the band and everything else.
Great. There was a couple. Someone said their son. Tommy says the son plays the flute with them. I know that there was a few more on the forum who were watching them. See, you don't need big bands to be good. That wee band is great, says Jim. They certainly were. JD says brilliant, fantastic sound from this band. Brilliant, says Brian Goody. Lots of fantastic comments there for Heroes of the Somme, and they were playing extremely well, playing Lassabon Accord very well. They sure were. And I loved I prefer low tension drums. Would all use change to low tension drums because they sound so much nicer. Absolutely sound so much nicer. Albert from Newton Ards is in with us. Glad to have you in, Albert. Hope you are feeling well. Now, I planned this really, really badly because we've got 3 Blood and Thunder bands in a row. But next up, again, another band that I have managed to see is Corby Loyalists. And again, this is a clip of them in Belfast in 2019. This is the Brian Robinson Parade and the Corby Loyalists Flute Band. Another great performance. But to see the difference between the high tension and the low tensions there, I think they would have sounded so much better again with the low tension. Aaron Wilson says, go on Corby. Remember, there are two bands in Corby. Still, the Corby Purple Star and the Corby Loyalists. So that was, of course, Corby Loyalists. Gavin says he marched Corby before, walked the legs off us, must have marched past every front and back door 3 times over, and that there's a great Rangers club in Corby. Tell me, is there a parade in England where all of the bands are at it? You know, is there a parade that you can go to that you would see all of these English bands in the one place? Or is that not? Well, I suppose, I mean, you don't have a parade in Northern Ireland. You can see all the Northern Ireland bands in one place, but you know what I mean. Georgie is listening in Coatbridge, enjoying listening to all the different bands. I am loving all these different sounds that we have this evening. In regards to the JD says, Devil says, flick of the wrists. It's all in the wrists. Isn't that what he says? It's all in the wrists. James Glenn Cross is watching in from Clough in County Down. Myra is watching. She is looking for a little bit of Kantral's Glory. They haven't actually been on as yet, Edward, but stay tuned, Myra. Stay tuned. Now, the one I well, Val by East Belfast, a set of low tension, please. See the difference. Are you mad? Look at the many drummers you have. I would need to mortgage the house out again. My goodness, no way, no way. First Saturday in June, the Apprentice Boys Parade. Most bands will mix. Otherwise, you have to be on the approved list to walk in the Orange Order parades. An approved list? Oh, okay. It's funny the way the different Orange organisations, the Grand Orange Lodge of Scotland, England, and Ireland have different rules. Yeah, some of them not to the good, I have to say. Particularly some of the approaches the English and Scottish bands take, or Scottish lodges take. But we'll not get into that there. Someone can tell me whether this is true or not. A drummer, because I don't know. I can remember being told one time that it is easier to roll on a high tension drum than it is to roll on a low tension drum. It doesn't say that it sounds good, but I was told that it is easier. I don't know whether that's true or not. And someone can let me know. All you drummers out there who know their stuff can tell me. Ian says Lambeg, Orange and Blue went to the song with low tension drums and sounded great. Oh yeah, I can imagine. I saw clips of them and they certainly did. I just think low tension, because you've got the high flutes, you know, you've got the high pitch of the flutes, and then you have got literally the high drums as well. You know, give yourself a little bit of contrast. Absolutely. Now, one of my favorite bands is up next. It is the Imperial Corps of Drums. I love listening to this band. Absolutely do. This is them playing in Londonderry in 2018. Great clip. Perfection. Absolute perfection. Superb, superb, superb. Playing extremely well. Love seeing them. The first time I saw them wasn't in the Somme. I've seen them before that there, but I really got a lot of, more exposure in terms of, hearing them for longer and hearing them standing in concerts and all that kind of stuff. And they're definitely a band that I look out for from now on. Absolutely superb. Edward said that they are one of the bands who are not on the registered with the Orange Order. You mean to say that the Grand Orange Lodge in England are missing out on a band of that quality? Really? Madness. Absolute madness. It's the same with the Grand Orange Lodge in Scotland, who have missed out of a band of the Green Gar Thistle quality for so long. Hopefully that's changing. Hearing them for longer, it's absolutely fantastic. Tommy says the majority of the bands shown tonight are not in the Orange Order. There you go. I didn't know that. Didn't know that. Because to us, they're just bands, if you know what I mean. That we don't think. Great tension, great sounding low tension drums, absolutely superb. Are Alistair out in front? What behind them? Plenty of times. Good bands is Colin Johnson. Great bands is Jim. So far owning the Sundays, which I take it is Colonel Saunderson, and the Blues and Royals are in the Orange Order. Wow! So a lot of these bands then don't take part in the 12th parade. Is that what we're saying? Frank Jones says Darvel Scotland, great sound. What parade do you have the honour to lead for 3 years? Standout Liverpool performers. They are absolutely superb. It's bands like this should be playing in London and the counties. Now, somebody did ask a really, really a good question. Let me see if I can just scroll back to it. Brian Goody asked, do they have their own 12th in their own cities? We know that Liverpool has a 12th because we've just featured a clip from it. But does other towns have a 12th parade? And the other thing that is a bit weird is, I mean, obviously King William landed in Torbay, and I know that there's a parade held in Brixham every year and so on, but I'm surprised that the UK doesn't celebrate King William III and the Glorious Revolution more than they do, because I mean it was a European thing. It wasn't just Northern Ireland. So why is it not celebrate it as much in England as we would do here in Northern Ireland? Because it definitely wasn't a religious thing either. High tension drums and Blood and Thunder tendency to play almost exclusively in the high register flute actually thins out the sound, and only large numbers give the volume. Would lift their volume threefold, having a balance. 100%. The perfect example that I can think of are Balrasheen, who have a very snare heavy sound, and a few of their drums are louder than maybe a drum corps of 10, 15 with high tension drums, because the sound, it's lower, it carries, and absolutely gives their own sound. And quite a few of you guys who are drummers, especially our Yasmin, are agreeing that is actually true, that it's easier to roll on a high tension than it is a low tension. Doesn't say it's a good roll, but doesn't say it sounds good, but it's just easier to do because of the bounce. Same with flutes, says Jim. He prefers to the sound of crown, not the high-pitched flutes a lot of bands use. I'm not too sure why everybody would, or a lot of bands would tend to go for the high pitch. It doesn't make sense. White Rock shows the sort of volume you could get. Certainly do. White Rock County, all of those types of bands, definitely good. Glenn says playing mid-range on the flutes will lift the volume completely. You need the basses, mids, and trebles to get that full sound. Totally.
Can somebody just scoot round to China's and give him a wee cushion?
Why?
Put his head down. He's just said that the drum lesson is wearing him down. Just give him a wee pillow just to put his head down.
Shush you. It's a fascinating subject.
I'm just looking after my wee mate China.
Fascinating subject. Think Highfield work with independent Orange Lodges in Liverpool. Oh, so there's an independent lodge in Liverpool as well? See, this is all new to me. On the 12th of July, we all have to work separately. Leslie says, yes, they're missing out on so many bands. Heroes of Summer listed. Wow. Only Liverpool is where the 12th parade is held, and other bands do walk in Southport on the 12th. Lefty Snowflakes will be having King William's statues pulled down. Oh, yeah. Equally, it surprises me why Ulster don't celebrate Guy Fawkes Night, 5th of November. for some reason, as a family, we always celebrate it when we were younger. We used to have the bonfire and everything. Remember the 5th of November. We always did that. Bloody hot tub has been overflowing for the last hour, said JD. I just find it interesting, China. Stop saying that I can rabbit on. I just find it interesting. John Halvorson is, yes, Carol, I know John. Met him in the Somme, got to know a few of those guys, and really a great bunch of guys. There's a history, Tommy says, of why the bands are no longer in the Orange Order. Due to a split, a lot of them went private. It would take a show on its own to explain all about it. Oh, my goodness. It wouldn't be the Protestant nature unless we were being country. Isn't that the case? Now, where are we going to next? Myra, you are going to be happy now because this is the band you were patiently waiting on. It is Kantral's Glory. Not sure of a year or anything with this clip, but we hope you enjoy it. Lisa apologises for the clip. It was the best one that she could get, but it is, as you can see, a little bit jumpy, and there may have been seasickness pills required. Great shots of the chairs, though, but good sound nonetheless. It's sometimes difficult getting clips of some of these bands, but Lisa has done a fantastic job. Jim thinks there is a parade in Workington. And Annabelle confirms that yes, there is. She did it in 1980. Hopefully, it's still going on. And that clip, Myra tells us, is from Southampton.
That would be a heck of a long parade if it started in 1980 and still going.
Only you would think that. Only you. With accordion bands, the drum accompany the boxes, not drown them out. Aaron, ignore Alan Finlay. He is being sarcastic. He doesn't like accordion bands of any genre, concertina, anything. And he's meaning, like drown out the squeeze boxes completely. No taste. Absolutely no taste.
I think Mr. Finley's got very good taste.
You would. You don't know the difference. What does it say? Don't know the difference between a hatchet and a crotchet. That's goodness. Chins are longer than the ravens.
You forget where I started my musical career in Ballycale LOL 472 flute band, who played from music. Not letters, not numbers, music. We had our lyres with the music on and everything else, and that's what we played by. So I do know my music. Yeah.
You must have forgotten it all. Carl says there's been a 12th parade in Liverpool for well over 200 years. My band, the Star Toxteth, is over 100 years old. Oh, Carl. I will get in touch with you. I'm not sure if it's just started being publicised, but as you all are aware that Northern Ireland are 100 years old this year. And the NI 100 committee, which is made up of members of, the Apprentice Boys Committee, the Orange Order, various different groupings and all that together have come together to make sure that throughout the year the centenary is marked in appropriate ways. And one of the ways that they are marking it is by having a banner parade in August. I should know the date of by heart, but I don't.
21st of August in Balamina.
The 21st of August in Saturday afternoon. It starts at 2:00. Assembling them from 1.
In the best, in the best town.
Sorry?
In the best town.
In the best town. It's not in Coleraine, it's in Balamina.
That's what I said, in the best town.
But one of the things that's going to make that parade, so first of all of the lodges, apprentice boys clubs, ladies lodges, black, everything, and this includes the English and Scottish lodges. If you wish to take part, you're invited to bring your banner along to take part in this. There's going to be a registration site and all that kind of stuff, but so that'll be a first in terms of firstly, it will be a fantastic sight. It's not the first banner parade, but it will be a fantastic sight in terms of all the different banners and parade and seeing the artwork on those there, because some of them are absolutely fantastic. But secondly, to give the parade itself a different spin, the only bands who are being invited to take part are bands which are over 100 years old. So as you know, our show last week, the week before, can't remember when it was, we did have the entire show only based on bands who are over 100 years old. And we know how many of those were part bands and pipe bands and things like that there, and a traditional first melody flute. So it will be a really different parade. We're hoping that all of those bands will take part in this special occasion. And we're hoping that as many of the loyal orders, whether that be apprentice boys, black, orange, ladies, anything whatsoever, will bring their banners along to take part. So that should be a really good parade. So keep a watch. It's really starting to be advertised now because planning is kind of hard to do with the COVID. So everything is COVID dependent. But put that in your diary, 21st of August for Balamina, and you'll hear more about it, and keep an eye on the Ulster Band's forum page. You'll see more about it. So I will definitely be getting in touch then with Star of Toxteth. And if there's any other mainland bands who would like to come across and are over 100 years old, do let us know. The only bands who are taking part who won't be over 100 years old will be local Balamina bands within a 3-mile radius of Balamina, because we didn't think it was nice to have a parade in Balamina and not invite the local bands. But those are the only bands that will be on parade, will be the local Balamina bands in 3-mile radius, and bands which are over 100 years old or 100 plus. Only know of one band that are 100 years old, and that is Listen American, and hopefully they will be taking part as well. So they've all been asked. We're just getting the responses and all that kind of in now. So Amanda will be so happy to hear this, but there is a pipe band. It is the Everton pipe band. This is them playing at the Pride of Knockmore's parade in 2013. to have a pipe band from the mainland on. Amanda, hopefully you will have made an exception for them. Ian says the wee boy in the mace is now 18 years old and has just taken part in his first pipers competition, hoping to go into the Royal Scots. I hope he has a wonderful career ahead of him there. Neil says that he was told tonight the Inch Flute Band are 100 this year. They're celebrating their 98th this year in their current form. However, their Inch Conservatives were there for many years before that, so they their format of Inch Conservative makes them, let me see 109 years old. So there's evidence of the band before that there. Yes, we have Craigie Ward on the list, 108 years old. Also Glen Hugh, who are 106 years old. Oldest band, 186 years old, Churchill. Also on that list are, where was it? One from Scotland is, I can't find it on my list. I know there definitely is. Thornley Bank Flip Band are 139 years old. So all of those bands that have been contacted, and if you do know of any other bands who you believe are over 100 years old, I'll shout out the list very quickly. Okay, so there's Churchill, Hamilton, Johnson Star, Ballantyre, Articlave, C. Patrick, Ballyvey, Ballyray, Silver, Ballygowan, Corcrain, Gary Duff, Skioch, Thornley Bank, Ballywullen, Huntermoor, Killymoon, Ballymejock, Ballinafy Apprentice Boys, Cormean, Edenmore, Ballylesson, Old Boys, Cahard, Cown Memorial, Edenderry Pipe, Ballykeel Conservative, Dungannon Silver, the CLB Newtonards, Gortakilly, Coronation, Thiepval Pipe, and along Single Star, Janaki, Ballyrashane, Ballylone, Miller Memorial, Gralla Unionist, Inch, Largy, Craigavon, Bestbrook Victoria, who are now Bestbrook True Blues, Glen Hugh, Montauber, Cranfield, Hollymount, Coleraine Fife and Drum, Analong Pipe, Ballyclare Victoria, Ballybully Pipe, and Cranny Pipe, and Listen American. So if you know any bands that I haven't mentioned who you believe are over 100, please do let me know, because that's my biggest fear, is that I miss someone and then offend them. So please do let me know.
You said Ballymajog. Does that mean we have to try and organise a passport for Josh to get into Balamina?
We do. We absolutely do. And no, Ian Kennedy, Ian AOH banners will not be welcome. I knew someone would ask that. Someone would ask. Yes, got Tadaki in there, Ian. Brilliant. Let's get to walk in Ulster as a member of Shettleston Apprentice Boys of Derry. Need to start exercising for it. Yes, hope so. Ian, have I missed the Heroes of the Sun, Liverpool? I'm afraid you did. JR said he could parade his mum, aka Gillian, is over 100 years old. It's all right, Gillian, don't worry. My son says I'm 70. So, don't worry about it.
Plus another 0 at the end of it.
Sergeant White Memorial, 1912. Thank you, John or Trevor. I will take a wee look into them as well. It's actually surprisingly hard to find years of bands, believe it or not. Andrew says, good luck on getting a response from Thornley Bank. Why is that? Are they no longer active? Or Bovidi, there is another one. Thank you. Ballinashach. John Keynes, she never came up for there. Talking of old bands, where are the Flintstones billing the birthday requests? Yes, the birthday requests. I did mention Hannah and Sergeant White Bush. I'll have to check those ones out. Kilmore Flute. I'll take a wee note of that as well and then get in touch. I just don't want to. So it will be a brilliant parade. Absolutely brilliant parade. Really looking forward to it. First of all, the quality of the band's on, because it's not just going to be Blood and Thunder. And then you'll have the Balamina bands like Pride of Main, Ballykeel, all the different Balamina within 3 miles, I think, which covers a Hochel and Cullibackie and all those guys. So that they'll all be being asked it.
Hochel's not within 3 miles of Balamina.
Sorry?
A Hochel's not within 3 miles of Balamina.
I'm just going to be Rodney Quigley. Rodney Quigley said that it was.
Cullibackie is 3 miles.
Ian wants to know, does that mean that Miller, Ballinran and East Belfast can't go? Miller can go because they are over 100 years old. Though I did get a query from them asking about, who was organising it, what the route was. It's the normal parade route of Balamina. Let's get on.
Which normal parade route at Balamina? There's quite a few normal parade routes at Balamina.
It's starting at Wakefield playing fields, so that route.
Oh,
the
Ballykeels route.
Gordon says, if anyone is interested in the t-shirt that I am wearing, which is absolutely gorgeous, ignore it because it should have been ironed. Okay, so take the wrinkles out. My mother will be disowning me, but it's absolutely beautiful t-shirt. So I just realized I was pushing my boobs out there. Absolutely beautiful t-shirt here. Sorry? No, don't say anything rude. Then, of course, the Light of Foot logo on the t-shirt arm. Of course, the band gave a donation towards Light of Foot to do that, and the NHS support the NHS.
I'll
Absolutely
say it on,
gorgeous.
Mate, we don't
t-shirt.
need much pushing out, Valerie.
Oh, shut up, you. No. JD says, race delayed tomorrow night in the grave of Charlie Watson, murdered by IRA scum at his home while his children slept on the 22nd of May, 1987. Gone but not forgotten. Yeah, absolutely. It's funny how we're not allowed to have a past, but everyone else is. Definitely wrong. Now, where are we going next? Back to my program. We need more music. This is one of the bands I think someone said there is quite old. Johnson's True Blues Accordion. This is them at the English 12th Parade in 2015. White socks for Glenn. Playing it really well. Really nice sound there. Do you see the way you've got the low tension drums? You have got the xylophone tinging away up there, and then the accordion's in the middle. Lovely range of the tones there. Absolutely brilliant. Really good. And Glenn, or Roy, is now modelling his Imperial Curve Drums t-shirt. Roy, if you want to show that to the camera. And that's your other option if anybody wants to. Alan Lewis, Councillor Alan Lewis, says that there's some swagger in that one with the cymbals. Looks like me coming down Scarva Hill with the accordion and Scarva Day backside swinging. Gavin or the Squirrel Alan. Absolutely fantastic. Did Michelle go and iron that for you, especially so you could wear that?
No, it's just not ironed enough for me. I've got it actually pulled as tight as I can get it down so that it sits better. Michelle wouldn't know how to switch an iron on. I do the iron in the house.
Well, here's the same. Drew does our iron. Look, that band looks like a really good laugh, I have to say. They really do. Your Dull and Cymbals looks like a cracker laugh. Someone said that was me and the cymbals. No, when I play the cymbals, there are, below the knees, behind the back. There's, much more tricks to go on there. Mark Heaney paraded along Blackpool Prom behind Johnson's True Blues. A great night in the Pioneer Club later that night. I'd say it was a laugh. I definitely would. Now, next up, another English band. This is nothing but English bands tonight.
I was going to say, that's a surprise. Another English band on an English band night.
On an English night, yes. I have news for you. We're going to run over time-wise. I know that may come as a surprise. It's not often we do it. It's our fourth before the end show. So I'd say we'll be running over a bit over the next 4 nights. So live with it. We'll be fine together. We will be fine together. This is Garston True Blues, a band I have never heard of before, never seen before. So I'm really looking forward to this clip. Lisa found this one. This is them way back in 1991. That was excellent. Unfortunately, the band aren't active any longer, but I see someone put a comment in there. Paul Gretton thinks they are reforming, which was great to hear. Lisa has brought that one in, and I don't know where you find it, Lisa, but it was absolutely fantastic. Brilliant clip. Echoes of Sharpshooters and Pride of the Mile there. Definitely. Superb. Absolutely
the first
superb.
taxi I ever got when I moved to Liverpool, the taxi driver was in there.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Absolutely superb.
Yeah, they just moved to a few nice areas of Liverpool as opposed to all the other bits I would have known on and some good clubs to go to for good music.
Oh, brilliant. Leslie's brother was bandmaster prior to 1991. Ian Thompson says, oh gosh, so many faces in this one after my time, but so many old friends no longer with us. The clip is, of course, on YouTube, available to view at any time if you have a wee search for it. What a band we had then. Says Volstagg, absolutely brilliant. Really enjoyed that. Really, really good clip. Tell me something. Question is Imperial Core Drums the only melody band in England, or is there other melody bands that we just maybe haven't picked up, or maybe they're still to come on our playlist? I don't know. Next up is Pride of the North. This is them parading in Bootle in 2015. Really, really good there. But it's also quite interesting because the clip that I had earlier on from Liverpool in 2007, Pride of the North were the last band. You remember the one that the guy was doing all the singing on? And look at the changes in them between 2007 and 2015. Absolutely brilliant, and great to see youth in there as well. Stu says that he doesn't agree with those who mix snide comments with those who are parading support in a culture. Neither do we, Stu. Some of the comments that you will see in here are banter between people who regularly watch the show and slag. So, for instance, Alan Finlay is always slagging, and Roy are always slagging about accordions. But they're there's lots of it is to do with slagging, like Amanda says about hating pipes and all that kind of stuff. But the thing about it is we know that those guys are saying it in jest. It's slagging between different bands and different members, and they're keeping me going about not liking accordions and all that kind of stuff. It's not that they're running down the culture or the bands at all. And it's definitely not serious, because we just don't stand for that on the show at all, because we appreciate all of the bands and what they stand for. Eddie says, if I'm not mistaken, I sent you a pic of the Garston parading in Belfast. I think you did, Eddie. I think you did. Cliff says, great show. Can't wait until the great reunion of bands and loyal orders. You are absolutely right. Absolutely. So Tad's looking for the birthdays. He likes to see who's young and who is old. I know 3 gentlemen who will be waiting to make their nightly appearance on the show. So we will have the birthdays after the next clip. So I've got a few birthdays in already. So if you have any more birthdays, let us know. And this next clip is the Royal Arch Liverpool playing in 2016. Ian says Kenny Bates and the Mace started life with Kirby Pioneers. He has them somewhere. Ian says there are lodges in Stockport and this band tends to attend that parade. Lead tip is great in this clip. Yeah, absolutely. See most bands from Liverpool. What's all saying? The Bermuda Triangle, Belfast, Glasgow, Liverpool. Well, tonight is English night, so we got all the bands from England that we could. Alan wants to convert me to Blood and Thunder. God loves a trier, Alan. God loves a trier. I'm not against Blood and Thunder, actually. I like Blood and Thunder. I would get bored with it because it can get quite repetitive. I appreciate bands who are innovative and who do more interesting drum sets and try putting a little bit of harmonies and all that kind of stuff. And of course, I love the part music bands, the melody bands and all that kind of stuff because that's kind of my genre of music. But I can't say that I dislike Blood and Thunder in any way. would always support them, always stick up for them, regardless of what I think. Ian says, a few of those boys were with me in the Protestant Reformers, and my daughter joined this band for a bit in its early days. Carl Robbins says, my late mother-in-law is in this band playing the cymbals, and my lad is jumping around the living room made up. Oh, we're glad we could make it seen, and I'm glad you were able to see that wee clip. So, birthdays, Roy? Are we okay for birthdays? Yeah, it's got a thumbs up there. I can't read my own writing now. Oh my goodness. So the theme music, someone asked the other week what the music was that you hear in the background. The music in the background is the Muskehounds theme tune. Okay. So first of all, Jennifer McAllister wishes a big happy birthday to Ian McMaster in Kelly Les Accordion, and also Garth McCampbell. Have I written that down? It's either Garth Campbell or Gar McCampbell, who is an Auckland accordion. Auntie Jackie wants to wish Granda Walter Lyons a happy 60th birthday. Oh, Walter, happy big 60. You were slagging me the other week, man, dear. Denise would like to wish Cordelia McCarriger a very happy birthday as well. Grace Curry would like to wish her brother-in-law in Dundonald a happy birthday. Unfortunately, Grace didn't tell us your name, so happy birthday, Grace Curry's brother-in-law in Dundonald. And Ronnie Hyman would like to wish Robert McGee Taylor a very happy birthday as well. Let me just check in case there's any more in at the lot. No more. No more birthdays. No birthdays. So happy birthday to you. Oh, and of course we can't forget the Queen of Coke. Her birthday was yesterday. We wished her happy birthday in the show last Saturday night. We also said we'd do it tonight, Friday night, because when you're the Queen, you have 2 birthdays. I guess my flag's setting the front door off. So happy birthday to everyone. Hope you have a wonderful day or a wonderful day ahead, whatever it may be, or had a wonderful day if it was during the week. And here is your serenade from the Muskehounds. Treasure it, because there's only 3 more nights of this.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday from the forum. Happy birthday to you.
Oh, excellent. What are we going to do without those guys singing happy birthday? Oh, Neil in Australia. Oh, that's what Neil, I couldn't figure out my writing. Honest to goodness, I have it written down. So Stevie Charles wanted to wish Neil a very, very happy birthday in Australia. I literally have Neil, AUSTRA-Stephen. Apologies. I forgot. I had it written down, but I just couldn't read my writing. Sorry.
Oh, after we finish this, I feel sorry for any of my friends on my Facebook list, because every time it's one of their birthdays, I'm going to put that clip on for their birthday on their post.
Her sarcastic tone of only 3 more nights. Mark, yes, we are stopping the Friday and Saturday nights next weekend. We're then going to move to a Thursday throwback, which hopefully you will enjoy every bit as much. No, Ian says the Muskehounds will be glad to get out of that room after being shut in all these weeks. The Muskehounds aren't allowed out of that room until they have done me my hula hula skirt clip. That has to come. Though I did promise. I'll be at Belfast on Sunday, actually, recording another spotlight. If you want, we could record something then, singing hula hula. Oh my goodness. Right, next up, more English bands. This is Pride of Norris Green, playing in Southport in 2018. Listen, do you know what I think will be fantastic?
Motion detected at the front door.
My flag keeps setting off my Ring doorbell. I think you know the clips that I've played of the American bands, and they've got like banjos, they've got saxophones, they've got accordions, they've got flutes, they've got everything. I think I would love to see that here. Kind of the style of the Regal. All of that there. Absolutely. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Council analyst says the Scarver Swing coming out as a field with me, McCall, my accordion out horizontal, and Linda Guyan and I belly dancing to the tune of the squeeze box. Oh my goodness, Councillor Alan Lewis, you have gone up in my estimation from being a councillor because you're an accordion player. Absolutely. Superb. Superb.
How posh did you sound there saying that?
What?
Superb, superb. Sounded red dead posh.
Excuse me, I am very posh. I am very posh. Do you not know? I'm telephone voice. This is my telephone voice.
Watch Spotlight.
Oh, it's going to be another one of those fat face things. Oh, it would be awful. Absolutely awful. But the good thing about it is they are going to record Pride of the Raven. So it'll be on in a couple of weeks. It's about NI protocol, 6 months in, all that usual sort of stuff. But we'll get a clip of Pride of the Raven in it. I hope so. Fingers crossed. So keep a wee eye for that one. And then I'll be slabbering as usual. Sure. What else? What else is there to do? Now, next up are Rose of England accordion band playing at the English 12th Parade in 2015. a wee bit confused. Joan Kenmore from Kilkeel has just wrote rubbish. Why? Is that a troll? Could somebody tell me? Some of the Kilkeel contingent? Yeah. Yeah, okay. Okay, not sure. Weird. We're always on the lookout for trolls anyway. So 9 District Liverpool. This is the same district at Garston, and the Rose of England used to be an all-ladies band until they merged. Mark Davidson is late to the party. Have Crown Leeds Defenders been on? Very first band, Mark. Very, very first band. Charlotte says the Rose of England are no longer an accordion band and are now taking over to be Garston True Blues flip band. John wants to know, are we saving the best to last? Who are you thinking about? Who are you thinking about? Just to make sure that we definitely have them in the list. Now, where are we at next? Where are we at next? Yes. Next up is Staff Talks to Liverpool. This is them playing at the Monkstown Memorial Parade this year. No, last year, 2020. Staff Talks to there. Lovely to see them over here in Northern Ireland. Chris is Chris is now known. We need his name changed by Deadpool. Lisa. He is now Lisa's man with the stick. I see Lisa's man with the stick. Miserable few days, but tonight's lifted in spirits again. Thanks everyone. On a serious note, love the xylophone. Alan Finlay. Oh my goodness, it's well seen that you aren't well. On a serious note, love the xylophone playing with accordions. It really lifts the tunes. It would be great to see more of that. You're definitely not well, Anna. Somebody buy that man Lucozade or something. Isn't that what we always got whenever we were ill when we were kids? You always got Lucozade, the big balls, the orange cellophane wrap. He used to peel it off and look the word through the... Yes, no, we'll not go there anymore. Next up, Pride of Aintree Flip Band. This is them playing in 2018. again, playing very well. Someone said Aston Villa colours. I don't know. Imagine Auntie Val never got banned wrong tonight or any divorce proceedings. It's early yet. I haven't, and we're not done. We're not done just yet. There was comment. Where was it? Jim Werner says they're glockenspiel. It is a higher pitch and sound than the xylophone. They're actually xylophones. And I always was led to believe that the glockenspiel was wooden and the xylophone was metal. And you made me doubt myself. So I Googled it and I was right. Yes. So the glockenspiel is the wood, the xylophone. Sorry, the xylophone is wood. And glockenspiel is metal. No. Well, whatever way, whatever way it is. One's metal, one's wood. The Glock, believe it or not, is considered to be German and the xylophone African. So there you go. Speaking, we were talking earlier on about my accent. This is actually my telephone voice. This is the polite voice that I use so that people in England can understand me. Because normally when I'm chatting to my ma and that there, it's a wee bit broader than what I would normally be. So, next week, I'm doing a recording, believe it or not, for German TV. All of these media companies are mad keen to hear the loyalist point of view for some reason. So nobody that I know is refusing them. I am fielding out as many interviews to other people as I can get, in terms of contacts. But the next week, I'm doing one for German TV. And he told me that, now, you guys know, you will understand this. You know what the subtitles make of my polite accent, right? So they are going to dub it in German. So can you imagine my rubbish in German? They're going to actually put a German voice on it. So my fat face speaking away in German. I thank God we'll not see it over here. That's all I can say, because that would be hilarious. You know what the subtitles make of my accent at the minute. I am not in Ballysally Estate. Definitely not. Ballysullen Times, etc. Glock, metal. Glock is metal. Tinkly differ. I like your description, Amanda. It's a tinkly differ. We'll have that. We'll have that. Are Ken Castle over 100? I will check them as well. Remind me again, so I don't have to go through all the comments. Who were the English bands that we thought were over 100, so that I can make sure that they're invited as well? Now, where are we going next? Next up, looking forward to seeing this clip. This is Yorkshire Corps of Drums. Possibly not really fallen into our Orange Order category, but I know that a lot of the members of the Yorkshire Corps of Drums, etc., are all members of other bands or former members of bands, and they're also taking part in Remembrance Day Parade here, so I thought we definitely can include them. This is them in 2015. Not bad for 6 flutes there. playing extremely well, and parts as well. Sure. Could you ask for better? Could you ask for better? Next up, stay with us. We have got 4 bands left. Only 4 bands left. We are running over, surprisingly, and it's all Roy's fault. It's all Roy's fault. We'll blame Roy. We are coming up next to Young Carson's Volunteers, Liverpool. This is them at the Brian Robinson Parade in 2019. Playing very well there, as Jimmy says, for 7 flutes, sounding great. Dan says, good night, everyone. My 2 eyes are knocking out of each other. Diane, you're excused. I'll not be far behind you. Well, not to your bed, but to my own bed. You know what I mean. Mandy says that she has a video of the YCV parading past Anfield Stadium. Oh, that'll be nice. That'll be nice. Now, next up, we have Corby Purple Star. Just never sitting here watching all of these English bands. I do remember being with one of my mates in the Shankill for the Brian Robinson Parade, and one of the Liverpool bands stopped beside us, and I have a photograph somewhere of my friend actually feeling one of the back row of flitters' arse. I think she knew him, and I blame it being my friend's hand, like that. But this is Corby Purple Star.
Your hand, really.
No comment. My mother watches this. Corby Purple Star. I have no details of the parade. Lisa picked this wee clip for us. Hopefully we
London
enjoy it.
Remembrance Parade.
Is your mic up?
Yeah, so it's London Remembrance Parade every other Saturday. That's the whole title of it.
Go. unfortunately didn't play the full clip there, but fair play to them. Not a large band on parade, but playing extremely well. I'm sure it's not easy, Ian, to stay and step in there because of the traffic so close to you. And I mean, you are in the centre of London. Absolutely fantastic. That's Mandy's son's girlfriend on the bass drum. Playing really well. Fair play to her, because I mean, that looks like quite a heavy bass drum. Glenn tells us he's got a new project tomorrow in the recording studio for something called Marching Metal, mixing heavy metal and flute band music. Look out for the video in the coming weeks. Sounds interesting. Sounds interesting. Now, just the 2 clips left. Andrew, I think it was, pointed out earlier on that today should have been an event for Andrew Murphy Memorial in Scotland. So it would be remiss of us. They should have been at the beginning of the show with those. So it would be remiss of us not to play a clip of them. This is them in 2019. Oh, YouTube away, YouTube away, YouTube away. That's because we played a Scottish band on English Bands Night. That's why YouTube said no. Do you want to try it again? See if you can get it up and running. So Andrew Murphy should have been at the beginning of the show because tonight has been all about the English bands. Now, as you may be aware, tomorrow night, then next Friday night, next Saturday night will be our last weekend shows of Virtual Band Parade. The time has kind of come to, wind her down, but we will be back with you mid-June, towards the end of June, for our Thursday throwbacks when we look at the weekend past, the weekend still to come. So we will be back with you in some format. So it's not goodbye, it is just adieu. I don't know. Is that the right?
Should we throw the a gauntlet to the Muskehounds to record the Queen?
Oh yes, because we are going to play the Queen on our last VBB.
So if the Muskehounds want to play the Queen, they can have the privilege of being the last
Yes, that would do.
tune played on the virtual band parade. And More Young Defenders will always have the privilege of being the first band to be played in the virtual band parade.
You're never going to let those guys alone, are you? Now, what we're planning for, so tomorrow night, Saturday night at 8 o'clock, as always, we are going to be doing Roy, mine and Lisa's, just the VBP crew. We are going to do our favouriteest clips. Absolutely favouriteest clips. Then next Friday night, what we are going to do is military bands. And then next Saturday night, we are having the Muskehounds with us. More grey hairs for me and Roy. And we are going to do, the first time we've ever attempted it, we are going to do a live viewers request. So you will not have to do your comments on the page prior to it. It will actually be live requests during the show. I can see chaos. I can see absolute chaos between the Muskehounds being on the show and live viewers requests. It's going to be absolute chaos. But what better way to end it? So
So get your beers in, get your party hats in, get your flags. Send us pictures in as well.
Yes, send your pictures in. We'll do that next Saturday night. But tomorrow night is going to be our favourite clips over the year and a half that we've been doing this carry-on. We only thought it would be like a month, but here we are. Now, final clip this evening, of course, has to be English bands. This is a selection of bands, a very short clip, but it's a selection of bands from the Orange period in 2017, based down in Southport. Selection of bands in here, just very short passing clips from them. It is Kantral's Glory, the Colonel Saunderson, the Royal Arch, Johnson True Blues, Pride of Norris Green, Duke of Lancaster, Blues of Royals, Pride of Aintree, Star of Toxteth, and then the final band, Rose of England. And the good thing about this clip is you also get to see the Orange men and ladies on parade. So join us tomorrow night, 8 o'clock, our clips tomorrow night. Our favourites, genres are out the window. There's no set criteria. We're just making sure we don't pick the same bands as each other. Until then, keep the flutes to the myth, boys, because we're coming to the tune.
Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. This is Orange Lodge Parade, Telco 2017. Enjoy.
when England's glorious sun in 1688 was overcast with treason's cloud and popery stood elate, that up arose her Protestants, the peasant and the peer, and vowed the chain of perjure James that they would not dainty wear. They sought them out a prudent chief to guide their heart and zeal, to lead them on that victory might bless their flashing steel. And who so fit to guide that host in all its bright array as William, Prince of Orange, ere he landed at Torbay? Then up arose the mighty chief and left his native shore, and rode upon the stormy waves our freedom to restore. Upon his flag was blazoned forth, high fluttering o'er the main, that our religion and our laws he ever would maintain. 'Twas then in gallant style he stood upon the vessel's prow, with victory on his flashing sword and wisdom on his brow. And tens of thousands greeted him upon his natal day, when he, our glorious Orange chief, first landed at Torbay. Come, brethren of the Orange bond, a bond ne'er to be riven, whene'er we give great William's name, a bumper must be given. For if you'd fire a fou de joie to him who victory won, come prime and load and see you give charge unto your gun. The eloquence of bumpers full there's nothing can surpass, there's naught expresses kindred soul like friendship's social glass. And thus we give our song and toast with 3 times 3 huzzah, the memory of King William and his landing at Torbay. The memory of King William and his landing at Torbay.